Hi everyone, this is Spring Washam and welcome to my treehouse temple. Hi everyone, this is Spring Washam. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I am a teacher, an author, and a healer, and I teach meditation and I lead shamanic-based retreats in Peru. And I also wrote a book called The Fierce Heart, Finding Strength, Courage, and Wisdom in Any Moment. And today's topic requires all of these: strength, courage, and wisdom. And I've been wanting to make a video about this topic for a very long time. And it's entitled Healing Our Family Trees. And it's really a complex topic and a heartfelt one. For me, healing the family tree is like vulnerable. This is my core wound, is the family that I was born into, what has happened. And although it has been a beautiful journey for me, right? I flower, if you read my book, bloom in the mud, honey, because that's what I did. And that's what I continue to do. And so many of us do that from all over the world, right? Your situation that you're born into doesn't define you. That is true. But it does have a powerful impact on your whole life, has a powerful impact on your spirit. So working with our family trees, and not only working with them, but helping to heal them, is an incredibly important job for us on the spiritual path. And it's also a deeper responsibility that we have. In many ways, what we're doing right now is we're clearing our lineage. Now in the West, a lot of people, we don't grow up with the idea of lineage, right? Most people in the West is very individualistic, right? It's like me, I go alone, as if there was nobody there to help, or you go it alone, you make your own destiny. Yes, some of that is very true. But what we fail to realize is that we are deeply influenced. And the person that we are today is based on not only our mother, but our grandmother, our great-great-great-grandmother, right? And the person that we are today will affect the 7 generations that come after, right? We are the healers. I always say I'm the dream of my ancestors. And I do believe that. And a big piece of the work that we have to do on a spiritual path is no shortcut, it's really not, right? We could do some things, and I could share with you some things that we can do, but it's all of us have this journey to untangle our family tree knots, right? The work that we have to do, the healing that we have to do, the forgiveness that we have to do is a part of us being able to actually move forward. So, with my own family, I'll just tell you, and I write about this and I talk about this on podcasts, and I'm very open with sharing about my own family and what happened. So my parents got married when they were young and chaotic, and my father never wanted children. And he left my mother, I think it was like 6 weeks after I was born, right? And he left. Now his leaving and him not wanting a daughter always had, I feel, a big impression on me. It had a lasting imprint. If you are unwanted by your parents in some way, meaning, and a lot of us come into this world by accident, unexpectedly, not a lot of people are born and it's kind of like, the Lion King, where you're held up and you're, the whole community is like, yay! It's like, no, I came in Long Beach General Hospital screaming, moved into a little apartment building, my parents a hot mess, breaking up, a lot of us come into life in that way. And, that issue with my father, and then he totally left. So I didn't even see him for like 20 years. And then when we did reconnect, it was very difficult. He had many other children and all these mental health issues. But okay, so his energy in my life was a big part. I didn't realize it though for a long time. I thought, oh, I'm good. You know how we say that? Like, I'm okay. Yeah, I healed that. But there's layers, I'll say. You know, there's healing something on the mental level. There's healing something on the physical level. There's healing something on the vibrational level. The emotional level is even more complex, right? So I might be able to think through something with my mind, but that doesn't mean my body, that doesn't mean my emotions, and also my light body, my vibrational body is still carrying that. And this is the level that I wanted to talk about. So that meant I had to do a lot of work with him, you know, forgiveness, practice. And with him, sadly, I had to do a lot of cutting of energetic cords, right? And I also had to go back in my family tree and look at my grandfather, right? And who he was, the burdens that he carried. And that is the part of healing our family tree, is going back and understanding decisions that were made, who these people were, and how it influences the person that we are today. So even on my mother's side is even more difficult, right? My mother and I are very different. My mother has never really understood me as a spiritual practitioner. She's never understood my mystical side. She doesn't understand shamanism, and she doesn't really understand Buddhism, right? So it's like we had very little connection. And that has also been really challenging, is learning how to love her, work with her. My grandmother killed herself, which was a huge wound, working with her energy, and even my great-grandmother. So on both sides, there's a lot of mental illness, child abuse, both my parents abused by their fathers, right? So there's all this stuff that's in the family tree that sort of befallen on my sister and I. My sister is really beautiful. She's another spiritual practitioner, and her and I work on these things very consciously, clearing the energy. We do a lot of forgiveness work, right? And we try to understand our ancestors in order to forgive them, in order also to set them free. Anything that is unresolved in your family line, you will carry it unconsciously as energy, right? So your culture, your race, your gender, where your people are from, all of that has to be embraced and understood. So a lot of times I work with people who are adopted, and maybe they were adopted into like a white family in the United States, but maybe they're from originally India or Korea or China. It's very important for us to heal. There's a journey that one must take back to their homeland, back to their people. And it's not like they're not caring about how they were raised and all the gratitude. They have that gratitude. But unless you are connected to the roots of your own family tree, it's like you're constantly feeling the suffering. You constantly feel homesick. And this homesick is a deeper connection to your people. Even if you are separated, there's a way that you can go back and you can reconnect with your lineage. If you're separated from your parents, you can connect with your grandparents. Even if you don't know who they are, the land itself can hold you. Your family land, your people's land, the mountains where your people are from, the rivers that flow through the lands, right? You can go back and you can connect in that way. Healing our family tree it's not even something that we're conscious that we're always trying to do, especially when you're practicing being mindful. You're awake, you're aware, right? You know that there's something that has to be done. So trust yourself, trust your intuition. It is very, very hard to grow on a spiritual path if you're in a terrible relationship with your entire family. It's a burden. You can't really carry that forward. You can for a period of time, but then what will happen is it's a plateau. Our families of origin, I will say, at least my family of origin, has been my greatest teacher. Oh, it doesn't mean it hasn't hurt. I have cried oceans of tears. Like, why was I born? Why was that my father? How could this be my mother? I don't understand the cosmic joke or the cosmic pain. But we have to understand that this is our path in this life, to understand, to accept, to connect, to see the beauty that we did get, and then also to know that we are still our own person. We're connected, but we also have this power. And the more healing work we do, the more it actually heals them. You see, my mother might not ever understand who I am, but the work that I do is for her. My father will never understand me. You know, he has a mental illness. He's off doing his own thing. He doesn't know how to love his children. He has many. I'm one of 10, you know, and none of us really can connect to him. And there's a loss there, but that doesn't mean that the work that I do, right, healing, understanding myself, letting go, is also helping him, right? So that's how we do it. It helps my grandmother. It helps my grandfather. It helps my great-great-great-great-grandfather. And that's the power of it. So as you go along, what's really powerful at this time, especially at the time of the coronavirus, is that our relationships, because really, what are you guys doing right now? We're all dealing with our relationships, right? We're locked at home. We can't go anywhere. It's like, oh, who am I relating with? And just powerfully on the planet, these energies of families and ancestors are rising. And so this is coming up for a reason. So trust that, right? It's not that you have to connect to people that you don't want to connect to, but what we do have to do is untangle the tangles and try to resolve as many things. We have to forgive, we have to move on. Doesn't mean you have to have someone in your life that you don't want to have in your life. It's beautiful to have boundaries. I honor that. I have to have them all the time with people in my family. But we're untangling, right? We're getting free of that. And when the tree starts to get free, right? When we start to understand the truth, we start to untangle things. There's a great energetic wave that happens in our own spirit, right? It's like our roots of our own tree are healthy. Our family roots are parts of a great tree, the tree of life. And the more work we do is we can deepen our own root system, right? We clear the obstacles, and the power, you know, that can come through is self-love, self-confidence, and all these beautiful qualities. So I'm very passionate about this topic, and I'll say more about that as we go on here, but I'm going to end this video. I'll make other videos. I have one coming up about the ancestors and how to work with our ancestors, and that's where I can get really deeper. But I think you get the understanding here is that we must tend to this. This cannot be where you do a spiritual bypass. It's impossible. You will at some point get to a plateau. It'll be like a boulder in the path, and that boulder will be, you've got to address the family unit in some way. It's sacred work. It's painful work. Oh my God. It's the work that's like hallelujah and oh God, you know, it's everything. It's everything rolled up in one. But this is our dharma. This is what we do. This is what we have to do. This is what we do for the benefit of all beings. I'm with you, community. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Just some of my thoughts here in my tree temple. Hope you like it. Like the video, subscribe to my channel, and yeah, just stay tuned for more videos. My whole intention for everything that I do is to uplift, to inspire, to awaken, and to help humanity. The one family tree. That's all of us. So, all right, everybody. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me.